Greetings guys, it's Blade Rich. Hope your weekend was dope. Again, unfortunately it's come to that time where it's Monday tomorrow, which sucks. But in today's video, I've got a bit more Stabber Fleet PvP. I think a couple of Cormorant 1v1s. Decided to do a Cormorant for the next Destroy guide. And I think one fight in a FNI. I'm not too sure, but I think the majority of the fights in this are going to be Stabber Fleet. Issue little fights. Nothing too crazy in this one. This is a Ratting Dommy, but still quite a cool little fight here. It's neat to be able to kill these Ratting Dommies if you catch them. So I feel like that's really what you want when going out to null, right? Something that can deal with most of the things that are ratting, as well as like being good at engaging like people, of course. It's a bit rough going against like rattlesnakes and stuff, which I've seen have been quite common to run these sites as well. But it seems quite okay to take on these Dommies. It does take them a while to get those newts and long point on us, and yeah, it's a bit rough once it gets those newts on us, but we're slowly whittling them down. You could have warped off at that point. I was bad at not getting that scram back on him immediately, and he'd be a bit more perceptive, boys. Something I'm a bit bad at my perception, trying to get slowly better. He does try an MGD there, see that, what's it called, animation, but thankfully I have a scram on him and he's unable to do so. Okay, this next fight is against Asteriods. I noticed he was combat scanning me down for a while. I actually knew who the pilot was going to be, so I checked his decal to see what his fit would look like. And it seems like something I could engage here. He is running like a low, with a CPU, what's it called, module, just so he's able to fit a standard scanner thingy. So he's able to use combat probes. So that's really given his fit and has made it quite a bit easier for me to kill this guy. So I was just going to load Hail, keep him at about 4k there, sort of tracking is decent, and nuke him before his nukes take a lot of effect. It's super easy to, what's called, tank this guy. I'm tanking him no problem. Just looking to DPS him down, because he wasn't as tanky as what most Asteriods as I would expect to be. Just cause, again, as an expanded probe launcher. So he's starting to bleed hull at this point. I'm fairly, like, I'm pretty confident I've got this, and we do. So GF that pilot. This dude's actually a PvP fit Ishtar, by the way, and he gives me a 1v1. I was so surprised. I was either expecting this to be bait, or, yeah, just bait, like, more people to come along, but people don't, so I get a really nice little 1v1 against this guy. So I was waiting for his assault damage control to pop. We noticed the numbers get lowered there on our damage, so we turned heat off. Once our damage numbers normalize, I put it back on heat, just to try and nuke for his tank before he does me. Ishtar's still a lot of DPS here. The only thing I think that can hurt him was he didn't have any highs, like guns, like blasters or anything, so his DPS wasn't too crazy to tank here. So yeah, we do actually end up taking this. So GF to that guy, thank you for the 1v1. I die to my hubris. So I'm fighting this Dominix. Well keen for the kill, by the way. So everything's normal here, you know, I'm expecting to probably kill him at this point. You know, trying to overstay my welcome here if other stuff starts to come in, maybe separate them or something. So I notice I'm breaking him. He's still tanking like quite a bit, and it's really frustrating for me. We aren't just like nuking through his shield, which is very unfortunate here. I was really hoping to just like nuke for him a lot quicker than what I did. And Dominixes have a lot of hull, just being like lengthy battleship. So we're still plinking away, plinking away. Gila comes in. I'm like, he's so low-ish. Do I stay and kill the Dominix, or do I disengage and then maybe fight a Gila? Or a line out, and if I'm going to die, warp out. That'd be the smart play, but I just stay and die. So, I don't know if that's a GF. I mean, I gave him a kill. Now, props to this gentleman. First and foremost, he gave me 2 1v1s. This is first. And a stabber, no less. This is an XLASB stabber, MWD, SLASB, adaptive, and scram. Against my Stabber Fleet, so he's fighting an uphill battle here, and props for the guy for taking this fight. I figured phase would be the best way to go here. His shield tanks may have plugged the EM hole. If he's armor tanked, it's not too bad, you know. That tip from Tom Lack in the previous video in my Algos guide, that I keep on forgetting that even base meant to have really good EM resistance. So just I need to keep that sort of in mind. So yeah, Thermal. Working him down here. He's doing quite well, actually. I'm surprised of like how decent he's doing for a stabber. I'm not too concerned though. Like, I can disengage if I need to, I feel, or I feel like I'm just gonna outlast this guy's reps, right? Because basically the XLASB stabber is just basically like a glorified, like, extended, like, buffer tank. As opposed to something like a sustain like this, it's usually always going to lose. So you can't really burst people down with the Stabber's DPS, and your XLASBs can only last so long. You really want to mute out your opponent, which is not going to happen to me, because, you know, the cap bar, it might hurt a tank a little bit, or reps and stuff, but it's a very dying battle for this Stabber. Props him though for taking a 1v1, and thank you so much, my dude. The next fight is more interesting. It's against a Sacrilege. Another hack 1v1, which is very pleasant. So I'm orbiting 4k with phase loaded. I'd really like to keep him at like 4 to 5k keep at, so our tracking isn't too much of an issue for us. But I'm wondering if keep my speed up like this, just because the Stabber is quite fast, I'm mitigating some damage from his hams. He is using the right ammo. I believe it's Nova, Kildare Navy Nova, which is the correct ammo for him to be using. So I'm just orbiting him 4k, trying to keep my transversal up, or well, my speed up, so these missiles aren't flying fully, which I don't think they are. His fits all actually pretty well, decent. It is dual rip, but he has a medium NOS. I think it would have been far better served with the medium Newt. Because I was looking at the fit, and even with like the dual reps heated and a Newt on the go, he's still cap stable just because the sack has crazy, what's it called, I guess, cap supply? Just being a hack, most hacks have a really good energy regen, or capacity regen, I guess. So at this point, I'm feeling very confident here. I actually thought I wouldn't be able to kill this guy and I might need to disengage, which is a great thing about the Stabber, so you can disengage most cruisers and things are about the same size as you. This guy could have been AB web though, and that would have been a bit of a problem for me, but since he was MWD, returning it off with Scram, I can just disengage whenever. So I'm getting low and small, medium anti charges, which is a bit of a worry, but I notice he's bleeding hull at this point, so I'm wondering if he's ran out what's called medium anti charge, and I think he has at this point. I can't heat anymore. I would really like to at this point, just like nuke down that last wee bit of armor. But GF that guy, that was a really nice. Thank you so much for the 2 1v1s, man. Yeah, GF to you. Okay, here we've got a little bit of low sec PP. I go into this plex, there's a Thrasher and a Rifter. I want to nuke down that Thrasher and then die or kill the Rifter. Thankfully for me, both of these dudes are actually T1 fit guns. I don't believe they're new, but they are relatively cheap fit. So had they both been T2 fit, I would have probably lost this. I ram that Thrasher. He's long. He does get a scram on me, but thankfully I'm able to coax range. I was getting a bit worried there at one point, because it was taking a bit of a long time to get into void range. But once I do, I nuke him. The Rifter comes in. I'm tempted as to switch to anti, but I see voids hitting like a truck, and we get that fight. So that's a very nice 1v2 versus those guys, and thank you for that. Now, this gentleman's trying to fight me with Atrons, and this Atron would have probably done work to me had I not had an MWD. The thing with the long point web sort of fits is like MWD fits do bad things to them, right? Because the long point isn't turn off for MWD, and he doesn't have any bonuses to his web range, so I can break the web and then just like grab him. Had he been like super quick on getting the web back on me, he might have been able to take this, but he's fighting again an uphill battle, man. It's a really hard fight for this particular Atron. Another little tip, once you're using Blaster Destroyers or something, keep yourself at 15 from the beacon. When people come in, approach them, and as they try and pull range your inertia, once they get the scram on you, it will take a bit of time for you to speed down. And you can sort of kill people before they pull range that way. Sort of helps. And yeah, so GF for both of those, man. And for our last fight, unfortunately didn't get any really good fights in this V&I yet. But this Gila puts up quite a good fight actually. Just cause he's like, I think he's 100 in oversized prop, and he has a scram. So it's a nightmare keeping up with him. I need the MWD to get close to him. He scrams me off, and if I activate A, B, he's going faster than me. So it's a bit rough. He is sort of PvE fit as well, but it's gonna be a good little fight here. It's nothing too crazy. I figured I'd include it anyway. But yeah, none of the fights have really, none great ones, man. Like one versus many and then coming out on top. It was mostly just 1v1s, which I'm grateful for. Thank you very much for the particular people who gave me those 1v1s. Those were really fun, especially against the hacks. The Ishtar Saga's a really fun fight, man. But not the particular fights I'm looking for in nullsec. You know, I'm more like one versus many and then getting a couple kills and hopefully disengaging or something like this. And getting occasional like little, I don't know, PvE do kills pretty nice too, like killing Dominixes and like cruisers and stuff. It's pretty sweet, man. So yeah, that is all the content we did get for this video. I was going to say words. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try and get you a video out tomorrow, if not the next day. Try and work on getting some good like 1v1s or 1v many with that cormorant. So I think we'll do a guide in that cormorant. It actually has the same kind of stats as like a shield thrasher. So I'm curious to see how well it performs compared to it. You know, the 5-second reload compared to the 10-second reload that a thrasher has is real nice, you know, switching from void to null. So that's usually what's real pain in thrashers, autocannons in particular, when people start like pulling range and then you switch a barrage, you're pretty much gone. But that 5-second reload in the destroyer fight is still pretty rough, but you know, it's not as much as game changers it would be in a thrasher. So I'm going to stop mumbling, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Try and get through your Monday. I'll try and get you some video up Tuesday. Do take care, boys.